Thanks for watching. Today we're going to have a little discussion more than anything about indoor versus outdoor fitting. Had one of our viewers request that we had a chat about it, so I thought why not? There's a whole bunch of factors that need to be considered when you're considering where or when or why or how or who to get your fitting with. So today I thought we'd break it down and look at the elements that are variable in your indoor or outdoor fitting. Okay, so the first element when we're talking about indoor versus outdoor is weather. Obviously, indoor, inside, we have no consideration. There's a lot of places are air conditioned, constant temperature. So obviously when you're outdoor, do you get fitted in summer? Do you get fitted in winter? Is it cold? Is it wet? Is it rainy? Even little things like wind can affect your fit. So if I was hitting a shot indoor and I just try to hit my standard 8-iron shot, for example, she's a little thin, but you can see it's gone, pretty straight, okay? And if I try and hit another one, that's pretty good. Okay, as far as direction goes, as far as it's just catching the left bit of the green. Not my best shots, but anyway. But for example, if I just put like a 10 km/h breeze and it's coming 90 degrees, it's coming from my right now, and I'm just going to make my normal golf swing, as normal as I can make it. I feel like I hung that right, but the wind's got it. Okay, and it's gone way left, and I make my normal swing and all of a sudden I've hit it 20 metres left. So my next swing I might then go, well, I'm going to try and I've seen that one go to the left, I'm going to try and hit this out to the right, which I've done. I've hit way right of the yellow, and there I'm able to get it to come back to the hole, right? But that's not the idea of, getting fitted. When we get fitted, we want to make our swing. I just want to make my normal swing as best as I can, normal golf swing, hit my shot, and that's what I want to base my data on, okay? Not so much based on, what the breeze has done. Has the breeze spiked for that particular shot? And, when we're collecting data, we want it to be as consistent as it can be, and we need to eliminate the weather. Okay, so the next consideration is surface type. I'm going to assume that when you go for a fitting, you can get a flat surface. Okay, we need a flat surface. You shouldn't be getting a fitting off an uphill or downhill or side hill. So I'll assume that indoor or outdoor doesn't have an advantage there. But when we're talking about surface type here, with a driver, it's not so important with the surface type because we're teeing it up. But with an iron, I think most of us would prefer to hit off grass. That's just how it is. So here we've got these mats. We've got these Country Club Elite. They're pretty soft. I can hit down into these and it will simulate, I can hit well down into that. It doesn't jar my wrists. It feels pretty good. I wonder what angle of attack that was. 4 degrees down, doesn't hurt, right? So you certainly don't want to use a hard mat. A hard mat's a big no for me. Just like the same as no grass. You go to a driving range, it's got no grass, or to go to your fit and it's just mud. But let's assume we're going to go. Nice grass, nice flat grass, good surface. There's all different grass types. I suppose they can come into consideration. But would I prefer, would the indoor get the nod for surface or the outdoor? I think definitely the outdoor would get the nod for surface type. Okay, next consideration. Golf ball. This is a huge. I can't stress enough how big a consideration this is. You play Bridgestone, do you play Strixon, do you play Titleist? Do you play TaylorMade? Do you play Callaway? Whatever they are, right? I've got a whole bunch of golf balls in my hand here. So in an indoor fitting situation, we can use, on the proviso we've got it, we don't keep every single golf ball, we keep all the majors. On the proviso that you play one of the majors, we're going to have your golf ball. Worst case scenario, you can bring your own. So particularly when hitting into a net, it doesn't matter if the ball's a little dirty. On a screen, you'll find places that don't want outdoor golf balls coming in because of marks on the screen. The ball's a little dirty, it's got a scuff mark. They don't want it to hit the screen, I understand that. But in a net where there's no screen, we can use any ball in any condition. I mean, ideally you want to hit when something's new. And that's a massive, massive win for indoor fitting. So there's nothing worse than, you can't use a range ball in a fitting. That's just, for me, that's almost ridiculous. And if you've got something that's similar, I mean, that's okay, but definitely a huge tick in the favour of the indoor fit when it comes to golf ball type. Okay, next consideration, indoor-outdoor fitting. How freely can you swing? So when you're outdoors, you're out in the sun, nice day, you can just swing like you normally would. And I'll be the first to admit that sometimes people don't like indoor swinging, okay? They don't like things like, help with alignment. I always give an alignment guide here. Some people don't aim square and they hit their best shots when they're aiming way right or way left, but they want to see where it goes, okay? So swinging freely. Now here, I've got the world's biggest area, right? 5.1 metres wide, it's about 3.6 metres high. Wouldn't matter how big you are, you cannot hit anything. You can swing like a madman, you're not going to hit anything. So we're trying to simulate an outdoor feeling so I can get this driver and just swing freely, right? Oh, straight into the trees at the back. Haven't adjusted the length. Anyway, so swinging freely, if that's such a category, I would give the nod slightly to the outdoor compared to indoor. I am used to indoor, but I've hit a lot of balls indoor. So the swinging freely category, I'm going to say nod to outdoor. Okay, so ball flight. There's a lot of people out there that say, I need to see ball flight. And I understand that. But I don't actually think you do. I think you need to make your swing, and then I think you need to see the results of that swing. Whether or not you actually see the ball is another thing. Now, I'd love to say that, it's as simple as that, you don't need to. And a lot of people do like to see it. But I think as long as the data or what's shown to you represents how you've hit the ball, I think that's sufficient. So if I was to hit this ball, now a lot of people don't trust these monitors, but I'm going to hit a flat hook here, right? And just see what happens. I'm going to hit a flat hook. That's hooking, that's low, it's hooking. There you go. I mean, these monitors these days, GC Quad we've got here. I'm going to now hit this one high, a little back foot it, cut it. It's high, back foot cut, there you go. And then I'm going to hit a normal shot. Oh, I hit it a little bit heavy. It's going to go a little left. And there you go. You know what I mean? It's telling me exactly what 40 years of golf tells me that I do. So ball flight, yeah, I mean, obviously outdoor wins. You see the ball, but with a very, very accurate machine like a GC Quad, do you need to see the ball flight? I mean, I'll give the tick to outdoor, but I don't think it's necessary. All right, so we've got a bit of a tie-break situation here. I think it's about 3-3 or something like that. The key, the thing that's going to separate the two, the indoor, the outdoor, data. Everybody, I won't say everybody, I'll say 95% of people that come for a fit, when they leave it in my hands, they say, what does the data tell me? We're numbers driven these days, everything's measurable, okay? So we can measure, I mean, it's ridiculous what the information we can get out of these machines, right? So you should have data, whether you're indoor or outdoor, you've got to have data. If you don't, and you're just going off, oh, that looks pretty good, I don't think that's good enough. There's enough people out here now that have data that you can access it in most places. Certainly in metro areas, there's hundreds of us that have TrackMans or GC Quads or something it's got to be that top level. I mean, there's no offense to the smaller little machines, but if you're getting fitted on a Rapsido or, you know, I think that's what it's called, you know, they're probably not up to scratch, right? So GC Quad, TrackMan, the top line flight scope, certainly. Data is the king. Now, indoor or outdoor for data. Now, there's a lot of things that affect the data. So the ball affects the data. So if you can't use the right ball, how are you going to get accurate data? The wind will affect the data. It doesn't with quad. Quad gives you normalized data. So with a quad, if I hit my 150 metre straight shot, that's what it's going to tell me. Now, if the wind then takes the ball, it doesn't matter because quad still tells me that I made the swing that hit 150 metre straight shot. So that's the beauty about quad indoor or outdoor. But certainly with a tracking device, when it's getting tracked, it'll show that the peak height's gone up a bit higher, it's gone a little bit to the right, it's spun a little bit more. So we want accurate data. So weather, ball, all these other little things, they're going to affect how accurate the data is. So, you know, do I think that indoor or outdoor gets the nod on data? I absolutely think that I've hooked that shot. But I absolutely think that your data is best given on an indoor situation where there's no outside agencies, where you've got the club in your hand, the correct weather, and the correct ball with the correct machine. And the indoor definitely gets the nod for me as far as data is concerned. All right, there you have it. That's my view on indoor versus outdoor. So when it comes to outdoor, the little things like must see the ball, or, you know, I swing better outdoor, and then the hitting surface type, I will admit that's better. But most of these things are, with the outdoor, they're just preferences. And that's okay, everyone's entitled to have their preferences. But when it comes to the nuts and bolts of what's actually factual information and what's going to affect the data the most solid data, the weather, the ball type, those things are clear favourites for indoor. So while I don't mind where you get your fit at all, but don't write out indoor fitting. I actually think it's a far better way. It's a far more controlled environment. The golf ball and that data is absolute key. So with the right machines, and again, you've got to have the right machines for the right data. Book yourself in for an indoor fit. It's a much better, more accurate situation than having those elements affect you outdoor. So anyway, that's food for thought. Any fitting is better than none, absolutely. And if your local club only does outdoor fitting, great, go and have an outdoor fit. But the reason for this video is more of, I mean, obviously we fit indoors, so I'm not going to say that indoors is the worst. But the reason is just those little things that sometimes people don't consider and why they might shy away from one or the other. So I think I've covered most things. If there's anything else that I've missed, let me know. I'm happy to discuss it with you down below in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.